Zark here with part 3 of setting up a Minecraft server. This will be the tutorial on how to port forward and open up your server to a public one. Otherwise, you will have problems and no one will be able to connect to your server. So, to get started, the very first thing that you should do is hold down the Windows key and hit R, and it should bring up this run box, and type in cmd for command prompt, and you'll usually type in ipconfig. This is not working for me, however, and I've never had this problem before, but what I'll have to do is type in cd windows and \system32, and that'll bring me to Windows System 32. Then I'll type in ipconfig, and then it'll bring up my IP address and everything. And this will be different for probably about everyone. Maybe someone will have the same one as me, but that'll be just definitely a coincidence. My local IP address is 10.0.0.6 and the default gateway is 10.0.0.1. Now this 10.001 is my router, and I'm going to connect to my router. So 10.001, and you'll need to put in your username and password. Usually it'll be admin for the username. Now the password could be changed by you. It'll usually be on the side of the router if you did not change it. And sometimes you may have to port forward through your modem. It really just all depends, and you'll have to figure that out. Depends on what you have. So I'll go and put in my password, and we'll be brought up with this. Now a lot of these will be different, but I have the Netgear, and what we'll need to do is go to Advanced for me and Advanced Setup, and my port forwarding and port triggering is here. So you'll have to look around for this. You might have to look up a few things for your router, but look for the port forwarding. And once you are there, and you will see probably just a very few things, but I've been doing a lot of port forwarding, playing different games and everything, and in fact I already have Minecraft here port forwarded, but this is going to a different IP address. Mine's 10.0.0.6. So what I'm going to do is actually click on this and edit it instead of adding a custom service. It'll be the same idea, I'm just not going to be making a whole new one. And this shall load up, and it's already showing everyone here, all the devices, so apparently it is port forwarded to my Android. So yeah, I'm going to get that fixed and just put it to Zark PC, which is me, 10.0.0.6, and port forwarding through 25565 to 25570. Because sometimes you might want to change the ports, very rarely. I mean, the default is 25565, but I have ran two servers on the same computer and had 255.66. But to make it easy, I just go a few numbers extra, and then you'll use the internal starting port here and put the same thing, 255.65, and you'll want to use it for TCP and UDP. If you do not have this option, just make two separate ones for TCP and UDP, and that'll just get all problems out of the way. And create new or apply, and really you should be set up. Now to ensure that we do have some things set up, we're going to close out of this, we're going to launch our server, and we're going to go type in port checker. And this is a little website. This will check to see if your port is in fact open. We may have to do a few more things. You definitely want to make sure your firewall's off, but we'll check anyways. So we are open though, but some people might have to go to their firewall and turn it off, or it's definitely sometimes not suggested to turn your firewall off, but sometimes when I run servers I just get it out of the way. But what you want to do is open up your Windows firewall with advanced security, and if it ever does load up in fact, then I'll be able to show you. Here we go. Okay, so you'll have these inbound and outbound rules. So go to inbound rules, go to new rule, and you'll type in, go to port next, and then you'll type in 25565. I'll use it for TCP. Next, allow the connection. Yes, next, and we'll call it MC server. So let's make another one, and we're gonna put this as port UDP 25565. Next, allow, next, and MC server 2. Okay. Then we should be good, and once again we can check again if you did in fact fail, and hopefully it will be allowed and everything. If you have any problems, please let me know, and look up some guides, tutorials, and see what you can do to get it fixed. Sometimes it is definitely just a hassle to get this part working, especially if you've never really messed around with your router or modems or anything. There's a thing, if you do check and it says failed, make sure your server is open, because I'm going to close this and then check again, because it needs to be in use a lot of the time. So error, it's not even open because there is no service on. So definitely open up your server and then check again. One last thing, once you do have all of this set up, you'll need to go to any website that can check your IP address, but I like to go to ipchicken.com. And once you're here, you'll send this external internet IP address that you do have. Mine's 184.399.168, and I'll send this out to anyone that wants to play on my server. And hopefully everything will connect fine. Well, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe if this has helped you. I hope your server runs well, and good luck. I'll see ya.